Hey guys, Andy back here with a video. I haven't made a video in about 6 months, and a lot has happened in the sports card world since the last time I made a video. Apparently, the sports card market is crashing, never to come back. We've got YouTube content battles going on between different content creators with different perspectives and agendas. Just a lot of different things. So we'll touch on a few of those things, and maybe I'll bore you and show you some cards while we're doing it, right? Because who does that anymore? Who shows cards, right? So I've got some PSA orders back recently, and then I've had some purchases as well. So I'll show you a little of each, and we'll talk through a few things as we go along. So this is the first card. This was a raw card purchase, and I recently got this back from PSA. 2017 Topps UFC Chrome Amanda Nunes Gold Refractor, numbered to 50. Got the PSA 9 on that one. So with this whole market thing, lots of channels now are talking about the sports card market, going down, correcting. And they're talking about this thing as like you can invest in the sports card market. Like, first off, I buy sports cards, not the sports card market. So if I'm buying sports cards, whether it be to keep or to sell, I don't necessarily care so much about what cards that I'm not buying are necessarily doing. And in most instances, when you see people talking about this topic, they're normally talking about stuff that they're not really buying. And even if you are talking about stuff that you're buying or selling, it's such a small part of this big, enormous thing. So just because this card or that card is going up or down in value, that doesn't necessarily mean that the market is all doing the same thing. Here's another card. 2018 Topps UFC Chrome Amanda Nunes Orange Refractor. Got the 10 on that one. Number to 25. So I find it interesting when people are talking about that subject, because they always are going to show like these few cards and be like, oh, look what this one was selling for in March, and now look what it's selling for now. Well, that's fine. You can show one that's going up, or you can show one that's went down. Just, I guess it's whatever narrative you're trying to create. I mean, I can show things that could make your statement true, and I can show things that would make it false. Here's a cool one. Amanda Nunes 18 Chrome Gold Refractor, PSA 10. So I bought 2 of these already graded, and then I got 3 more back in a recent submission. So there we go with that. So yeah, I don't know. I'm just the kind of guy that I buy what I buy. Another Amanda here. As you can tell, the cards that I'm buying are not necessarily what everybody else is buying. I don't think that I've seen a single video on YouTube that would show any of these cards to say that they're going up or down or flat or indifferent, or they love them or they hate them. And if they did, it wouldn't really matter to me, honestly. Like, I'm gonna keep doing my thing. Here's the Anderson Silva 2018 orange refractor in a PSA 10. It's got this back in a recent submission. 2 of 25. So yeah, that's that subject. And I would sometimes people listen to YouTube videos, and now that I guess that the hobby or sports collecting world, whatever we want to call it, now that it's gotten more and more attention and people are starting to be referred to as influencers and whatever, that's fine. I mean, I like to watch videos for entertainment. Here's the 11 finest Anderson Silva gold refractor in an 8. I'm entertained by a lot of different content and different content creators. I will say that the majority of the content that I do watch is stuff that I don't necessarily agree with what the person is saying. And I like to watch that type of stuff because it makes me think about whatever it is they're talking about. If it's something that they're saying that if I just agree with everything that they say, it's not that entertaining to me. I like to be, I guess, challenged a little bit. So we'll talk about the different types of content creators as we go through some more of these cards here. 2006 Pride card collection. This has Anderson Silva on it. This is the hollow foil. There's Anderson Silva right there on the ground. Looks like he's possibly about to be submitted there. I'm not sure. These were put out in Japan. As you can see, the text on the back, all Japanese. I couldn't tell you what any of this says. If you can translate it, go for it. Let me know what it says on the back. I would be interested to know. So that's a cool one there. So getting back to the content creators, and these are all tongue in cheek. Like I don't have a beef with anybody or anything like that. This is just kind of have some fun as long as we're looking at some cards, right? One of the different types of channels, and I watch, different variations of all these channels. Some good, some bad, some awesome, some cringy. It's just all, this is all fun, guys. So you have the infomercial channels is what I would call them. What I mean by infomercial channel is, let's say that someone new to, it's either like a new hobby business or even like a hobby executive. If I have an infomercial channel, I'm going to be the one that lets them on, and they're going to, during the episode, they're going to try to sell you their product. In return for having them on, the content creator is going to get some free product, perhaps even a great fancy sponsorship. The person that's trying to sell the product, they're going to usually give you roughly the same story, the backstory, as far as how they collected cards as a kid. They dropped out of the hobby when they started high school, and then once they got out of college, they started a career, and then they were making money, so they decided to get back into cards. Once back in the hobby, they discovered this glaring need for whatever their new product is, and they're also so grateful for the response they've gotten from collectors. If anybody questions them about any potential problems with their product, it's usually going to be either a supply chain issue or it's going to be something they need to address with their team at a later time. That's usually the standard answer that you will get. As far as this type of content, the link is always going to be in the description of the video to their product, and you can usually get 15% off of the product if you use the content creators promo code. So here we have a 2012 Finest John Jones Blue X-Fractor. Got the Gem 10 on that one. These are great looking cards, numbered to 188 right there. This was a self-sub. So the second type of channel we'll talk about a little bit is the breaking news channel. And this is the type of channel where they're going to take a story that they saw on Instagram, Facebook, somewhere. And, you know, they feel like if they go ahead and tell you the same story that you could have saw there, that's going to get them a lot of clicks and views if they post it to YouTube. And just like with the real news, there's usually going to be factual errors in what's being reported, with it being, you know, they want to be the first one to post it. So, you know, we're not going to let the facts get in the way of a good video, right? So here we have 2012 Finest UFC John Jones Gold Refractor, numbered to 88, as you can see right here. Got the Gem 10 on that one. So I've been having a lot of fun collecting these UFC cards, and that's really what it's all about, right? Speaking of fun, back to our channels here, you have the Clickbait Channel. Now, these are going to be pretty easily recognized. You're normally going to have a pretty cheesy thumbnail, and the title of the video is usually going to end with a question mark. An example would be a title like, "Did I pull a Zion Williamson Gold from this box?" I can save you guys the time. They didn't. So back to the cards. 2013 Finest UFC John Jones Blue Refractor. These are beautiful cards, numbered to 188. Got a couple of 10s on these. Looking forward to watching John Jones come back and fight. It's been a few years since he fought, so I'll be interested to see it. Next on our channel types, we have the analytics channel. These are the type of channels, they're going to use charts, graphs, pop reports, whatever else they can find to prove that this card or that card is either undervalued or overvalued. You know, it just kind of depends on what their motive is. You're going to be dazzled with all the numbers that they're going to show you, and eventually you're going to agree with their argument, even if you're not quite sure what it was. They just simply sound too convincing to be wrong. Speaking of wrong, you can't go wrong with the 2013 Finest UFC John Jones Gold Refractor. This one got the 10. These are probably my favorite year of gold refractors from the UFC cards. These just look terrific. So really enjoy that one. Back to our channels, our types, right? Our stereotypes of channels. You have the fake community channel, as I call them. This is the channel that's going to go on and on about how great the YouTube sports card community is and how many wonderful other channels there are out there. Now, despite the greatness of these other channels, these guys are usually going to be too busy pumping out their 10th video of the week to watch anybody else's stuff. So, in short, the community in their mind is going to consist of their channel alone, but they would really appreciate it if you would like the video and subscribe to the channel. Oh, and please hit the bell icon on your way out, please. Next up, 2015 Panini Court Kings. I hate to even say this guy's name, so I'll just call him the guy that used to play for Oklahoma City. Another name for this guy would be the guy that just got swept out of the first round of the playoffs. We can call him either one of those things. So this card is this Sapphire that's numbered to 25. Court Kings are pretty good looking cards. I like those. Got the 9 on that one. The next type of channel we have, the investor channel. Now, this is the channel for anybody out there that wants to strike it rich. Well, that's what they claim, at least. Unfortunately, the truth is these channels are where your money will go to die. Poor knowledge, little research, and just a general lack of knowing how buying and selling sports cards even works are common traits for these channels. Now ask yourself this question. If someone out there really had all of the answers that these channels claim to have, why would they give them to you? Next up, we have a 2000 Panini Fortnite Skull Trooper. This is the Series 1 of Fortnite. Got the 10 on this one. Now, if you're buying these cards, you want to look for this down here where you see where it says printed in the USA. These are the more desirable versions of the Fortnite cards. The ones from Italy and I just had a brain fart. I'm not sure the other places, but these were produced in several different countries. And the ones that were produced in different countries, they don't command the same prices that the US versions do. So if you are buying one and you're trying to pay a fair value, just take into consideration that these should be higher than the other ones. Now, the last type of channel we'll talk about is the collector channel. Now, these channels are the real diamonds in the rough. They can be relatively tough to find because their view counts, are typically lower than the rest of the channels, so naturally the algorithm hates them. These are the channels that are my favorites because these are the ones where you're typically going to actually learn something of use. And there's lots of great examples of these channels out there. And that's my preferred type of channel because a lot of the collector channels that I watch are guys that are friends of mine, and I want to see what they're collecting, how their progress is going with their collections. And it doesn't really matter if I necessarily like what they collect or agree with what they're talking about. I like it because they're my friends and I want to see them complete whatever collecting goals they may have. Last card we'll show today, and this is my favorite that I've picked up over the last several months. 2013 Finest UFC Super Fractor, George Saint-Pierre. So that one's pretty neat. The BGS case has a decent amount of scuffing on it, as you can see. So this is one that I will probably want to get reholdered at the National. So that will be something I can look forward to doing there. Just a pretty neat card. The Finest UFC cards were only produced for 3 years, 2011, 12, and 13. And the one-of-ones in 11 and 12 were the red refractors. So this is really, the 13 is the only one where they have actual super fractors as we know it today. So that was fun, guys. We got to talk about some different types of channels, and like I said, this is all tongue-in-cheek stuff. I have no axe to grind with anyone. Like I said, I enjoy a lot of the content that I watch. I do it for entertainment. I watch it for entertainment. I think that's what it's supposed to be, right? This is supposed to be fun and entertaining and not so serious all the time, but that's just my opinion. I could be wrong. Take care.